Hello. All right, we're going to wait here for some people to jump on. Happy Sunday, everybody. And what a beautiful Sunday it is. At least here where I am, there's lots of sunshine. And so as people start tuning in, this is going to be a regular thing that we start doing on Sundays. I wanted to get a more consistent date and time for us to be doing these lives together, and this felt like a great time. So Sundays on and around 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to start just checking in with each other, seeing how everyone's doing, how the week, how we've taken the opportunities that this week has provided, how we've been moving through these energies, how we've been growing and evolving, all of that good stuff. I'm sure we'll probably pull some cards. We're just going to go wherever the energies take us. It has definitely been an interesting day for me. Hello to whoever hopped on. Feel free to say hello in the chat if you guys want. We had the time change just happened today. So where I live, we fell back an hour. And it was a really strange night last night. I was super tired. And so I went to bed especially early. And so I woke up at 5:30 this morning and I was up for like 3 hours. And then I had to put myself back to bed. So I slept until about noon once I went back to sleep. Very, very bizarre. Hello, Allie. Hello, Kevin. Welcome. It's great to see you guys. Yeah, so I'm still kind of getting my bearings after waking up from my nap. I was going to stay up straight through, but it felt like a bit too much. I was really tired, and I sleep better during the daytime. It's really interesting. Like once the sun is fully risen and then it's more of a gentle light, it's just so soothing that I can fall asleep so readily. So I slept really well and really deeply after I went back to sleep around like 9:30, I think, this morning. It's great to be here with you as well. I'm so excited to be doing these live streams with everyone. I think they're going to be really fun, that we all have a more of a consistent energy where we can check in with each other. Yeah, the time change. I don't know why we don't do away with the time change. Some states have. I really have this desire to move to the Southwest. And so my friend Tommy was telling me that in Arizona, they don't work with the time change. They just keep it consistent. And I was like, well, there's just another great reason to move out west, right? I mean, it's kind of an archaic tradition at this point, and it just throws everybody off. But today I was off anyway, so it really didn't make any difference. I was up, I guess it would have been 6:30 that I had woken up if the time change hadn't happened. But 5:30, that was very interesting for me. I'm like, okay, so no matter what, I need to force myself to maybe stay up a little bit later. Yeah. Hello, John. Nice to see you, my friend. Yes. And so today, Sunday, as people are coming in and we're getting warmed up here, we will talk about the Galactic Signature. And so the Galactic Signature for today, and of course I always get thrown off as soon as I start saying this, yes, is the yellow electric star energy. And this is an energy that is guided by free will. It is also a heart chakra day. And so every Sunday we have this beautiful heart energy that's really powerful and open for us to work with. And so it's always recommended, at least by the people working with the galactic calendar, to do a rainbow light meditation on Sundays, where we just imagine bringing that rainbow light down through the crown, down through the energy body, out the layers of the aura, and connecting with the universal heart. And as we all know, we have been guided throughout the 1111 portal to meditate every day. I mean, really, we've been guided to meditate every day. End of sentence, right? But especially through these 1111 portal energies. And so it's a great way to really start that process. Since I channeled that information, I felt that I really needed to start working better at meditating daily. And so I've been meditating daily since the very end of October. This has been something that I've always kind of struggled with fitting into my routine on a consistent basis. And it's definitely helping. It's really powerful. And so the channeling that I received regarding that, which is in the 1111 portal video, talked about bringing that, opening up the crown, welcoming in that beautiful light. And just as it's flowing through you and cleansing you and activating and opening you up, just expanding that light to the entire planet. So we're really helping to anchor in these powerful vibrations of light that are streaming into our galaxy and our Earth plane right now, into the physical Earth, right? And to share that with all of humanity, to assist in their awakening, because we have a lot of souls that are awakening on and around this 1111 portal. Who else do we have going on here? All right. I haven't missed anybody yet. In Finland, we do that time. Oh, well, hello, Finland. That's beautiful. That's beautiful that you're there. I'm always excited when there's people from around the world. Not beautiful that you guys do the time change. It's like, can we all come together? It's yet another example of nobody likes this. Why don't we all, can we all come together and change this, right? We see this in so many aspects of our lives. Very interesting. But yes, with this yellow star energy, this is the energy of beautification, elegance, and art. And so today, the galactic energies are guiding us to make our life a living work of art, to understand that everything that we do is art, right? The way that we dress is art. The way that we speak, the way that we share our thoughts and our words is art. Everything, the way that we do the dishes, the way that we decorate our home, everything is art. So if we see that and we see the beauty in everything, and we seek to make everything more beautiful, and add that beauty to the world, that really brings us into the energy of today. It's very much that energy of living the beauty way, which is where we honor and recognize the beauty in absolutely every single thing and every single one, including ourselves. Hello, Ty. Hello, Pippi. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Sometimes I don't know what day it is, but I really do love Sunday. Yeah, I struggle with that. Even when I have things scheduled, I'll sometimes go through the motions of a different day. It's really interesting. And I think that it's just going to get more intense as we continue moving out of linear time, right? Because time has less and less of a meaning. And we're really we're floating and we're being. And yeah, time really gets in the way of being sometimes, doesn't it? Or I guess we shouldn't say that. I guess nothing needs to get in the way of being. Yes, trying to come together. Yes. No one wants to be within 6 feet. Maybe some people don't. Oh, yes. Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you all on this beautiful Sunday. Schedules mess with my flow. Yeah, it took me a really long time to get into I remember when I first started having a schedule, I really thought that it was like the equivalent of death. I was like, I can't believe that I am becoming this responsible. And it was like, it represented being boring and being irresponsible. And there was so much about it that I hated. But I remember I got, because I felt that it conflicted with my ability to be a free spirit, right? But I got myself a planner. And it was super funny because as I started, and I had a physical one, now I do it all on Google. On my phone, but I had a physical one at the time, and it actually got to be really fun, and it made me feel really important because I would talk to people and I'd be like, you want to do that on Saturday? I don't know, let me pencil you in. And like it cracked me up every time that I said it. Yeah. We can make anything fun, right? That's the lesson out of that. Is anything, even if it seems like something that's not all that enjoyable, like we can make it fun and we can find the joy in absolutely anything that we do. And it did help me get a lot more organized. It absolutely did that. Hello, Eli. Welcome, beautiful. So great to see you. Clear. So I think we're clear. Sorry. I think we're going to start with some angel answer cards this morning. And so these cards are really interesting. Whenever I have a specific question, they don't seem to want to answer my specific question. But when I do readings, at least not for me personally, they're definitely not a deck that was gifted to me for my personal readings. I've noticed that though with anything, whenever I try to get a yes or no answer, it's like I'm meant to figure those things out for myself. So I never do. But they do give some fun messages sometimes in these collective readings and these readings for other people. So yes, you watch the live on Twin Flames. Hello, Pamela. Welcome, beautiful. Yeah, that live on with about Twin Flames was really fun to do. I really love Eric of Divine Conversations. He's such a beautiful soul, and he does such great readings on his channel. He has just this incredible energy, this incredible combination of strength and vulnerability and honesty. And it's really fun. I love his energy. Like he said, there's a kindred soul kind of vibe there. So I really wanted to do something with him. And I love the way that he's able to just have these conversations with his viewers and And so I thought that that would be a really fun way to kind of go about it. So hopefully we'll be doing some more stuff together, because yeah, he's definitely awesome. And there's a lot of information when it comes to the twin flame energy that I think it is important to share and to understand as we move forward. Because when we get stuck in the loop of that and the more unhealthy energies of that, it really does ultimately prevent our growth. Where it may have initiated growth originally, it tends to stunt our growth after a while if we don't find the deeper meanings and understandings and that deeper sense of self-love. All right, let's see what guidance from the angels we have today. Okay, interesting. So we have know and get more information coming out. So somebody had a question. See, it answers other people's questions very clearly. It just doesn't like to answer my own. So if there was somebody who had a question that they were thinking of as I was shuffling, or if there's somebody who has had something weighing on their minds lately in general, and you've really, hello, Tommy, and you've been wanting an answer for that. And remember, if it resonates, what the angels are saying here is that you need more information. Like at this time, it's whatever this is not wise because you don't have all the facts yet. And so get more information before you act, before you make a decision, and reconsider tried to pop out there as well. And then we also have meditation brings answers coming out. So if you really want to understand more about the situation, some of that, it seems like some of that information that you need is actually coming from your higher self. It's not even that you necessarily need more information from other people. You need more information from your higher self before you can proceed. So that's really interesting. Let's see if we can get some clarification here from the tarot. Clear. Yes, welcome, Tommy. Welcome. Tommy just put out another great video, some channeled messages that he received this morning that I listened to upon my waking after my extended nap this afternoon. Let's get some more information on this. Get some more information on this. Get more information. What is this? What are the potentials of what this is regarding? Excuse me, you guys. So we have temperance coming out. So this is patience. This is healing. This is alchemy as well. Temperance often represents. And then we have the 10 of Cups. All right, and the 10 of Cups is complete fulfillment, right? Hello, ABC. Hello, Goddess of Outcasts. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We were talking about how this yellow star energy, it's all about making your life a living work of art, and all the different ways that we do that, including the way that we dress. And so really working with that energy today. So it feels like there's a situation here that we're talking about, or a question that somebody's asking, or something that they're wanting that they believe is going to bring them this energy, right? This emotional fulfillment. But there's something that's not being seen clearly. And it's almost like there's a healing. There's a healing that needs to happen. And it feels to me too like there's a different perspective. Like the temperance to me feels very similar to the hanged man right now, and that something in the perspective needs to be shifted. Something needs to be seen from a different view, from a different perspective. Let me get some more here. And I also feel for some people like you've been patient, wherever this is concerned, you've been patient for a really long time. And you're starting to get impatient, wondering why things haven't manifested for you. But it feels like, I mean, we've got the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands here. So this is a lot of heavy energy. And this is, oh, that's beautiful. Wearing a yellow top. Yes, that beautiful yellow, that solar plexus energy. So it's a lot of heavy energy right here. So there's a lot of alchemy. There's a lot of alchemy that is still needing to happen here. A lot that is needing to be shifted because there's a lot of this heavy energy. There's a lot that's being carried with the Four of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck too. It's like, I feel like this is the energy of somebody who feels stuck. But it's because there's all this heaviness that still wants to release. You're still holding on to things that need to be let go of. Some of this is grief. Some of this is bitterness or resentment or frustration. Yeah, there's a lot of heaviness and burdens that need to be released. And I feel like there's a lot of energy of taking on things too. Taking on things that you don't necessarily need to carry for other people. This is like energetically taking things on too. And so it's this energy of learning. That's like a lesson that needs to be learned here, is how to not take on the burdens and the energies of others, and how to release and let go of your own of what's holding you back personally. Because it's almost like, in this specific scenario that I'm reading right now, it's not that anything on the outside is holding you back. It's that you're holding yourself back. Because it's like you want this energy, but you're afraid of the disappointment, and you're still holding on to disappointments of the past. And as you meditate, like, you'll begin to understand this, and you'll begin to see what it is that is wanting to be let go. What it is that you've been, it's like this energy of resistance. And this fear of things not working out the way that they haven't worked out in the past. Yeah, and I feel for some people too, like, that's one message. I also feel for some people like a more clear message here, or a less complex message, is just like the thing that you're wanting is something that you're settling for, that's not going to bring you the true happiness that you desire, and it's going to require you to take on a lot more than what is beneficial for you to carry. And so to be patient, because the right opportunity is coming through. It's just not this one. And there's like an aspect where you kind of know this, because there's a heaviness involved with it. But it's like your logical linear mind may be telling you, you should probably accept this. I don't know if anything better is going to come along. Right? So what if it's a little more responsibility that you want? So what if it isn't necessarily what you're looking for or desiring? Like, it's that energy of lack. Like, take it in case nothing better transpires. And the universe is saying, like, no, you don't have to do that. Something better will come along. Instead, start releasing these belief systems that tell you that you have to settle for something less than what it is that you truly want, or what it is that you truly deserve. That's the energy that I'm feeling right here. Oh yeah, we all hold on. We're all, no, I don't want to say it like that. We're all learning how to release, right? We've all been in that energy of holding on to things that are wanting to be released, but we're moving out of that energy now. We're learning how to move out of that energy. Oh yeah, and there we go. There's that Hanged Man that I was feeling. That change in perspective here. That doing things differently, the Hanged Man can sometimes represent doing things differently, taking a new approach. Yeah, seeing things from different angles. And so there's definitely a breakthrough here that is possible. And part of that breakthrough, I feel for some of the people that I'm reading this for, right, that last part just resonated with, is understanding where there's still like this energy of like where you're still possibly making decisions out of fear, out of this sense of lack, right? And for others, it's this realization of what you've taken on and what you've been carrying, and what it is that you can let go and release that didn't even belong to you in the first place, and what it is that appears to belong to you but still really doesn't, right? It only belongs to you as long as you own it, as long as you claim it. If you release your claim to that thing, it no longer belongs to you. And these are things like that we don't necessarily want to belong to us, right? These are fears and old habits and belief systems. Then we have the Page of Cups coming out. So this is like beautiful, new, fresh energy. This is creative energy. This is youthful, joyous energy. And so this is like the guidance that I feel like we're receiving is get into this Page of Cups energy. Get into this explorative energy where you're like a child, right? Exploring the world, exploring your own emotions, exploring your creativity. This is the energy that Spirit's wanting you to get into, because there's a lot of magic in that energy. It's like there's been an energy of intense seriousness and a lot of heavy burdens and responsibility. And this is also, and so this is another message coming through here that may or may not intersect with the last message. But this feels like this energy of like realizing where it is that we've been overly serious and where it is that we can also look at the responsibilities that we do have, the ones that are worth continuing, right? The ones that are bringing us something powerful and positive. And how can we change our perspective around that energy and see those as gifts and be grateful for those responsibilities because of what they produce in our lives, right? And this is energy that Saturn teaches us. It's like sometimes responsibilities are necessary, right? We take on the responsibilities that are productive and helpful for us, you know? Like me deciding that I want to start doing regular lives with you guys on Sundays. There is a responsibility that comes for that. I have to show up, or at the very least, if something does come up, I have to let you guys know, right? It's a commitment, but it's worth it because of what that's creating in my life and in the lives of other people who are going to enjoy these lives. So, yeah, that's like a little example of this. It's like seeing things from that different perspective and seeing the opportunities and seeing the gifts in our responsibilities, and also, like we always talk about, right? The gift in our pain, the gift in the challenging circumstances, the gift in the roadblocks, because sometimes Spirit is just trying to reroute you. Because there's something better. This definitely feels like the energy of there's something better, right? So don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself that you can't have what it is that you truly desire. Don't settle for something less in any aspect of your life. Yes, let's see. Real difficulties can be overcome. It's only the imaginary ones that are unconquerable. Interesting. I would have to think about that for a second, Tommy. So that has to do with the fact that we create these obstacles that aren't even real with our own minds, is sort of the energy of what I'm feeling right now. But it's also this energy, right, of like the only true limitation that exists is within ourselves. And so just really knowing and honoring that. Oh, I'm glad you like my water bottle, Eli. It holds a lot of water and it keeps it very, very cold. So I really like it a lot. It is extremely heavy, though, to carry around. I'll tell you what. I had to, my boyfriend actually got me a backpack with a water that carries water with the straw and everything for hiking and stuff, because lugging this thing around with me was so cumbersome. We all really enjoy hiking, and yes, that's my absolute favorite thing, getting out in nature. Taking positive action will reap its rewards. Absolutely. We are conscious creators, Tommy. Yes. So being those conscious creators, right? And releasing and letting go of everything that doesn't serve and everything that holds us back. Absolutely. Like we said, those belief systems that tell us that we're not, those belief systems that tell us that we have to clear, we have to take the crumbs that are offered because the cake may never come around, right? And we know that to be absolutely untrue. This is the creator's portal, right? We're moving. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome. Hello, Stanley, Monica. Hello. We are moving, right, through this powerful magnetic gateway of manifestation and abundance. And so we don't want to be limiting ourselves. The sky, I was going to say the sky is the limit, but that's still a limit. There are no limits right now. So really dream that big, powerful dream. Don't feel pressured to settle for something that doesn't resonate with you and doesn't feel true to you. And then we have in the near future that popped out while I was shuffling. You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? Shuffling right there. So these blessings that we're talking about, right? These breakthroughs in the near future, right? Things are much closer than we think. Our dreams and desires, it's very much that energy of like, don't give up on your dreams, because the breakthrough that you've been waiting for is right around the corner. And that's why so many people, right, give up right before the miracle happens. And that guidance was coming through very strongly a couple weeks ago. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. All right. Yeah, nature helps with grounding. It helps with healing, right? We get those healing frequencies. We get that cleansing and purification that she provides. And with this energy, you know, we're talking about the yellow star galactic signature today. When you're out in nature, you really you can feel the art, right? Because it's actually like my friend Tommy said the other day, like Mother Earth or Gaia is an incredible artist. The beauty that we can witness out there, it really helps us to step into this energy of seeing the beauty everywhere, seeing the art in everything. Just got here. Hello, Salvador Martinez. We're talking, what's the dish? So we're talking about not giving up on our dreams. We're talking about letting go of the burdens. We're talking about not settling. There's a big energy of not settling for what it is, for something that's less than what we deserve and truly desire. We're going to pull some earth magic cards now. This week is going to be bumpy with dramatic change fast. Breathe. Hello, Jamie. Welcome. Yay. I'm so glad you made it too. Yes, this week is going to be intense. So I'm going to be doing the weekly energy report after I'm done with this live, hopefully. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Very appreciated, Elizabeth. Donation. So yeah, a lot of really powerful energies. We have the 1111 portal. We have Mercury and Mars, the conjunction of Mercury and Mars going on next week. And we're going to be feeling that energy throughout the week with a square to Saturn, with an opposition to Uranus, like really potent, powerful, activating energies, but a lot of changes and a lot of shifts coming. So it's really like we want to stay on point with our self-care. We want to stay on point with our perspective, right? We want to be in this energy of we don't want to be in the energy of lack, right? We want to be in the energy of abundance, and we want to really continue to shift and pay attention when those old belief systems come up, but shift into that more positive energy, shift into that energy of what it is, focusing on what it is that we desire. Hello, Empress. Welcome. Oh yeah, and that does remind me, thank you, Elizabeth. I wanted to give a shout out as well to a couple. When people donate, I want to give recognition to that, because it is, like we said, it's not required, but it is so appreciated when people do. And so I wanted to show that appreciation. So I had a couple weeks ago, I think it was, and let me see. Okay, it's not in that. I put the notes in here somewhere. A couple weeks ago, I had a very generous donation from Sarah Ortega. So I want to thank you, Sarah, for that, if you do catch this, because that was so sweet, and it was totally unexpected. And I also got a beautiful donation from Angela Graves. And so I want to thank you as well, Angela. And I want to thank Elizabeth. Elizabeth always throws out those donations, and they are appreciated. And Louise Garner as well is really up with that in the live chat a lot of times. So I want to thank you, and Ty as well, as always, very generous. And there's so many of you. And so when people do donate now, I'm going to recognize you for that, just because it is so appreciated. And I just want you to know that I appreciate that. And I don't always get a chance, especially if people do it on PayPal. There's no way for me to respond to that. And so Yeah, it's just clear. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate you so very, very much. And also, for anyone just popping on, make sure you hit that like button so we can get these lives out to more people and continue to grow our tribe. Listening at work. Yes, we are having a beautiful day. And it's beautiful. The Empress put that rainbow in there. It is that rainbow day. And so working with that rainbow heart energy, those rainbow meditations. Going to be making big career decisions and conversations, quitting a job that I just can't take or do anymore. It's going to bring a positive shift for me and my family. Absolutely. That's so beautiful and empowered. It's such a bold move when we do that, right, Salvador? But it's so important. Like, we're all being called to take those risks when we feel called to take them, because big risk comes with big reward. And of course, it is scary sometimes, but we know when we're being called to move. We know when we're being called to take those leaps, right? And it's all about staying in alignment. We don't want to be, if possible, and everything is possible, right? We don't want to be staying in energies that drain us, right? That are out of resonance, because that pulls our whole vibration, our whole energy off. So much luck to you. We'll send lots of positive energy to Salvador as you move through these energies. All right. So we have two cards coming out here. We have the Island, Solitude, and we have the Ocean, Ebb and Flow. And so a lot of watery energy with these two cards, right? And so we're really being guided. I feel like we're being guided to work with the element of water right now. I also feel like we're being guided to take that time that we need to spend alone right now, because it's in those quiet spaces that we're going to become more in tune with the ebbs and flows of our own emotions, of our own energy. So we really want to be taking that time away. We want to be taking that time out, right? Water is very cleansing and purifying. So this is also about cleansing, clearing, and purifying our energy. And this is also like talking about the cycles that we go through, right? And the ebbs and flows of our growth process in general. And so sometimes we need that solitude in our growth process and our healing process. We need to take that time. And so some people may be in this stage of solitude right now, which is absolutely necessary. Like, if you feel guided to solitude, to spending time alone, then do that, because a lot of us on here, right? We need that time to recharge. Our solitude is our time to recuperate and regenerate and recharge. And so really honoring when you need that time, and taking time to carve out that alone time, to carve out that you time. That's a big part of self-care as well. And so just a friendly reminder coming through, I feel like, not only to work with this element of water, but to work with this energy of solitude. It's kind of like the Hermit card. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting right now. And just to know that, like, sometimes we feel this need to pull back our energy, especially from people in situations like we were just talking about that drain our energy. And that's okay. And I feel like there's some people who've been in this energy of solitude for a while and are starting to get worried, like, is this unhealthy? And so what Spirit is saying is that there's always an ebb and a flow. And when you're ready to start moving out more, you're going to feel that call. You're going to feel that nudge. And so just pay attention. Just be really cognizant of your own cycles of growth right now, because everybody's in a different cycle of growth. And don't compare your cycle of growth to somebody else's cycle of growth, because it's all different. I spend a lot of time in solitude. As many of you know, I do have a roommate. I also am in a relationship, but I make sure that I still have that time, because it's so important for me. I need that in order to recharge. I need that time where, like, the world just doesn't exist, and I can really just be centered in my own energy. And I love being alone. Like, I could spend days alone, and it would probably take days before I would start really thinking, like, maybe I am desiring the companionship of another human, right? Because I have myself as a companion. I have spirit as a companion. I have nature as a companion, right? There's just so much there. And so it's like learning Some of us, it's with this solitude, it's like that's the ultimate goal, is that energy that I just described. And so sometimes when we feel really uncomfortable being alone, that's like an initiation, is going through that process of solitude in order to get that comfortable with ourselves. And we saw a lot of people with everything that happened in 2020, right, kind of forced through this initiation. And it was pretty intense for a lot of people. Hello, Pete. Welcome. It's great to see you. Yes, anybody else new that just hopped on? Hello, Autumn. I see you there. Autumn Moon. Oh, this is great. We got all kinds of people hopping on right now. Yeah, so that's that solitude is an initiation for many. And it's once we become totally comfortable in that solitude that a lot of times that energy then begins to shift. I get out of hermit mode at work with my patients and go home and regroup with spirit. Exactly. When you do, and it's funny too, because I have days where I don't have a lot of direct human communication, but I'm still doing stuff for YouTube, right? I'm still doing stuff with you guys. And so even on my days where I don't see clients and stuff like that, and I don't socialize, after that, it feels like I've had so much connection that I still need that alone time afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, no, I still just don't talk to me. Like I've been talking all day. Oh yeah, it's funny. It's funny being an introvert. I used to call myself an extroverted introvert. And I guess I still do because I can be very extroverted. But that energy of introversion, the older I get, the more introverted I become and the less of that extrovert. I call upon the extroverted aspect of myself when I do these videos with you guys, right? But in my daily life, because I call upon that energy, I have so much less of it to give. And my recharge, even as an extremely extroverted introvert when I was younger, I would always, even if I spent like a couple weeks out running around with people, I would come home and then I would spend like 2 weeks to even it out just alone in my house reading and doing whatever I needed to do. All right, so we have the Autumnal Equinox card coming out, release. And we're definitely we're in this 11/11 portal energy, right? It's a huge, like we just talked about, it's a huge manifestation gateway. We're bringing in a lot of energy, but we're also in that white world bridge or wave spell right now. And now we're moving toward that full moon in Taurus. So we're also moving toward, we're building energy, but there's energy that we're getting ready to release. And so it's because we're always doing both at the same time, right? We're always building and releasing. And so what is it that wants to be released? What is it that needs to be released right now? So that we have more space for the things that want to come in. And it was interesting because the release card came inverted. And so what I'm feeling here too is that there are people, some of us, we have things that we really need to release. And thank you, Pete. I love you so much. Your channel is my favorite channel. So that's absolutely perfect. It's kind of like seeing the other side of my personality sometimes when I get to watch you and I'm just like, I don't know. I can't really explain it. It's just super fun. So I enjoy and appreciate you so much. And I enjoy our tribes and the way that we've connected. It's fantastic. So what is it that we've been, and this goes back to the last reading we just did, right? With the tarot. What is it that we're holding on to that still needs to be released? And so for some people, we need to go back into this energy of solitude so that we can figure that out. Because there's something we're holding on to. And with this autumnal equinox card, it feels like this is something that we may have become really aware of during the autumn equinox. And we're still, as we move now toward the winter solstice, right? We still haven't quite released it. We still haven't let it go. It's like this ebb and flow. There's something that we're not allowing to flow. It's like it flowed in, and that's the way that the life goes, right? With energy. It flows in and it flows out. It flows in and it flows out. And so this energy flowed in, and we were meant to let it flow out, but we didn't. right? There was some sort of something. And for some people, it feels almost like, for some people too, this is interesting. It feels like part of what flowed in with some of that collective energy, we've allowed some of that to sort of leak into our field. And it was so sticky that it resonated with something in us that we were still healing. And we couldn't quite let it go, right? It's stuck. And so some of us, this is about really needing to cleanse and clear our energy fields and our auras right now. But for others, it's like something that came into our lives that we were meant to release, right? It was meant to be there for a reason and a season, but we've been holding on to it. And once again, this goes back to the original energy that we were talking about too, which is that energy of holding on to things, or taking opportunities that we know aren't meant for us because we're afraid something better won't come along. And so we hold on, we were meant to release. It's kind of like when you're fishing and you catch the fish and you know that that specific fish was meant to be released back to the water. But you're like, I don't know. Am I going to be hungry tonight? If I release this fish, what will happen then? Will I catch another? Right? And so that's interesting. Oh, and that's so interesting. On the bottom of the deck, we have summer solstice radiance. So we got a lot of that solstice energy coming through here. So once again, it's the seasons of our lives, right? We have 2 turning points in the seasons. So it's really understanding and recognizing the seasons in our lives and knowing that we have different seasons, right? Acknowledging that and appreciating the season that we're in. Yeah, it can be really hard sometimes to find that alone time, especially when we have so many people who require our attention and our love. And hello, Anna. Oh, you're so beautiful. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. It really can, but it's even those 5 minutes. Oh, 5 hours. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. It's cherish that time when you get it. Right. And even if it's just 5 minutes of meditating and clearing your energy and connecting in with yourself before you go to bed. Hello, bad influence. Oh, I highly doubt that. And I mean, I highly doubt that you're a bad influence, rather. Just to clarify there. Oh, yes. Yeah, Pete, Tommy, clear. Put out a beautiful channeled message earlier this morning. It's so exciting watching him grow and have fun with this process, right? And it's like this energy too of creativity. And we talked about that creative energy coming through that came up earlier. And it's this energy and this understanding too that when we begin to engage in the creative process, the energy just flows, right? It builds on itself. And so as soon as we get going, the momentum begins to increase and we just continue to receive more inspiration. So it's just opening up that flow. So that seems like a big energy today of where is it that we can open up the flow? Where do I feel that flow may be a little bit stuck and how can I open that up? Oh my God, this is so weird, you guys. So now we have the spring equinox rebirth coming out. So we have everything except the winter that's popped out so far, which of course is the one that we're headed into. But it's so much about these seasons of our lives, right? And release and rebirth coming out right next to each other. Right? It's like there's an aspect of ourselves that's wanting to be reborn, but we have to release the old identity, right? We have to allow more of the radiance of who we truly are to shine through and not be afraid of leaving the old behind. And this includes the old versions of ourselves, right? Our old definitions of ourselves in the world, even though they are comfortable because they're familiar. It's time to reach into the unknown. It's time to embrace the unfamiliar. This release, this final release of whatever it is that we've been holding on to, whatever it is that we haven't wanted to let go, that we've been guarding for whatever reason, is really what opens up the floodgates of rebirth. Yes, Scorpio season, you're right, Anna, is all about death and rebirth. Absolutely. Winter equinox is the rebirth of the sun. Oh, so that's perfect, right? We got the sun here and we got the rebirth card. So technically then, Thank you for that, Allie. We did get the winter equinox as well, or the winter solstice as well in here. Perfect. And that's going to be a huge energy, I think, that 1221. Huge, huge energy, as it always is. And we'll get into the 1212 portal energies soon. We're going to move through the 1111 portal first, and then we'll get into those. Those are going to be some powerful energies, that energy of mastery. Yeah, and then we have Vision Quest coming out. So this is why that solitude energy is so important, because you can have that vision. There is a vision, and I really liked, and I'm gonna draw upon what Pete was talking about last night, right? How important it has to have a vision, right? Scorpio season is giving us that passion. It's igniting that passion and getting us to get honest about our true desires, right? But desire without vision can't really go anywhere. And so having that vision, and we talk about that, we call it eagle vision on this channel all the time, right? When we have that higher perspective, that higher vision, really embarking on that vision quest by going within. We don't necessarily have to go anywhere, although we can, right? We don't necessarily need any type of assistance with this, as far as like some people take certain substances in order to have that vision quest. Some people go specific places, but we don't need to do any of those things. It's all within here. All we have to do is go within, right? Yeah, so it's this energy of really taking that time to allow that vision to unfold. And with the quest energy here too, I'm feeling like this release, this energy of moving into solitude, this energy of release, of letting go, that initiates this rebirth. Once we do that, it's really going to open up our vision as well. And we're going to receive more of that vision that we have been seeking. Right? It hasn't quite manifested yet, because we're still holding on to some aspects of the old that keep us chained to an old perspective. And that old perspective is preventing our vision. Right? We have to let that go. Yeah, and for some of you guys, if you have been planning like a trip to have a vision quest or something like that, especially a trip to the desert, then there's a powerful energy of rebirth for you there as well. And that's probably for me too, as I have my upcoming trip to Egypt. Yes, Moonai, welcome. I love you so much. I'm so happy to have you here. We all love you. Yes. Death is absolutely regeneration. Regeneration, transformation, alchemy, right? Yes, we can absolutely feel anything. It's all about having that courage to feel right now. Do a video, an overview of the key astrological points of the year. So bad influence. I may possibly be able to do something like that. I can look into that. Sometimes it's a lot of information to sort of go over, but I'll look into that maybe for 2022. Or did you want from the key astrological points that we just experienced in 2021? I tend to do them as they come, but it would be cool to really have like an overriding energy to guide us, so that we know which points to look out for as we're going along as well. Yeah, that would definitely. I mean, right now, the key astrological point that we have coming up is that conjunction of Mars and Mercury. And I'm going to talk about that more in the weekly Ascension Energies forecast that I'm going to get done at some point, hopefully today. If not today, then definitely tomorrow. Because that conjunction of Mars and Mercury is going to be such a powerful activator, along with that 1111 portal. But yeah, I can look into doing something like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see, anything else? Exactly, Salvador. Right? It's death as the great equalizer. And that's also a lesson that we learn from the White World Bridger wave spell, which is that our time in these human physical bodies is limited. So what are we going to do? How are we going to make the most of that? That's something that Scorpio energy seeks to do, is live their life fully, right? And to act upon and actualize their desires, because we only have so much time in this physical vessel and incarnation. Although, like we said, as we move into the new earth, we are reclaiming our ability to decide when it is that we transition, and we'll be able to live much longer than we are right now, as we once did. Yes, Annabella, I am going to Egypt next month from the 5th to the 21st. It's going to be pretty powerful. I'm so excited. Yes, as simple as possible. I will. All right. All right, I will do my best to do a very simple astrological video. It's actually a really great request, because I need to learn how to simplify things, because they really don't need to be as complex. And I've been learning to do that more and more. Like, I will absolutely look into that. I love when you guys have questions, or you have recommendations, or stuff that you want to see. I have some different videos that I want to get done here. They just require a little bit of research. And so I got to do some of that research first before I put those out. Yes, with spirit. That's so funny, Stanley, because the Jaguar is my favorite of the archetypes when we work with the directions. I love the energy of the Jaguar. I resonate with her. I actually received this series of shamanic healing rites. They're called the Moonai Key. And so they seed our different chakras with different archetypes and energies. And the Jaguar is one of those archetypes that was seeded into my energy system. And I did a meditation going through the animal archetypes and sort of asking them to show me the world through their eyes. And the energy of the Jaguar came through the most strongly for me. I absolutely love, it's such a beautiful, empowering energy. And it is the Jaguar that provides us with courage, right? And gives us that ability to walk between worlds, and to do that shadow, to traverse the shadow, to traverse the different realms. Okay, yeah. Always let me know if there's terminology and stuff that I'm using that you're not familiar with. Drop a comment and let me know, and I'm always happy to clarify. I know that astrology definitely is overwhelming when we first get into it, and there's a lot of technical jargon. So I try to use as little of that as possible. But you're probably talking about some of the aspects and different things like that. So absolutely, always ask me questions. Always ask me questions if you have questions. Yeah, exactly. In the new 5D energies, time doesn't exist the way it does in the 3D, right? We're moving out of this energy of linear time. And so anytime timing doesn't quite work out, it's kind of terrible to use it as an excuse, but we could totally throw it out there. Like, I don't live in linear time. All right, let's see. Yes, thank you, Pete. All right, let's see what else is going here. I hate the feeling of time running out. Yeah. I totally understand that. And that's something that I've really had to work with, was that energy of feeling pressured. Like there's not enough time, right? And so when we're in that energy, that's showing us that we're not being present. And that's an invitation to come more deeply, come back into our presence, come back into our being, right? Because when we're in a state of being, that opens us up to timelessness. But when we're in the human mind, right, the linear human mind, all of a sudden it feels like, well, fuck, I have so much that I want to accomplish in this lifetime. There's so much that I want to see. There's so much that I want to do. How is this all going to happen, right? And then just all of the things that time brings. And so we can get really caught up in that energy. And I think that especially those of us who came here to get a lot done, right, we feel that pressure. But it's also the understanding of stepping into that, right? It's the invitation to step out of that, step into this energy of presence, this energy of trust, where we understand that really we have all the time in the world. It's all perception to a certain degree. I mean, if we sit on the couch doing nothing every day and whining about the fact that we don't have enough time, we're not going to get much done. But like when we're able to be fully present, we actually are able to, it's so funny. I almost said when you're able to be fully present, you're able to accomplish a lot, but you kind of are, but you do it in a different way. If that makes any sense. All right. Trying to look through these comments again. Yes, thank you, Tommy. Much appreciated. He's so great at cooking dinner. Yes. And hello, Goddess of Outcasts. Oh, I love that. Yes. Yes, I was feeling the leopard. I was feeling the jaguar today. Yes, and then on the bottom of the deck here, we have the mountain strength. So just a reminder, right, of how incredibly strong and powerful each and every single one of us is. And this is about stability, right? This is about being anchored. This is about being grounded. So really working with that energy. And then under that, we have the forest breath. So working with that breath as well. That's a great way to release if we have these emotions coming up that want to be alchemized, processed, and released. Working with the breath is a great way to do that. I actually should be working on more of that breath work because that's the trip to Egypt that I'm going on. The woman that's guiding us and hosting it, she does shamanic breath work. She's the founder of shamanic breath work. And Linda Star Wolf, she's absolutely amazing. But this breath work, I haven't done much of it since I met her in Sedona. Clear. So I'm calling myself out on that right now because it would probably behoove me to get my breathwork game a little more on point here. Yeah, and still on the bottom of the deck, forest breath. So that breath energy wanting to stay with us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's happened for a lot of people, Autumn. This energy of our childhood trauma creeping back in, those aspects of the inner child that really are ready to be healed right now, right? That are affecting anything that's coming up right now is being shown to us because it is affecting our ability to create. It is affecting our ability to live the life that we desire to live. Yes, Sedona, Elizabeth. Yes, my future home. In another timeline, I live there right now. But yeah, this anything that if it's preventing us from creating, it's coming up right now, right? If it's influencing what it is that we've created, we're being shown that and we're giving this opportunity to heal on a deeper level right now. We're like in a deeper swing of the spiral, a deeper, what's the word I'm looking for? You guys know what I'm trying to say right now. Quickly address leading with just be divine feminine. It's driving my divine masculine crazy. Oh gosh. Yeah. So this energy of the divine feminine being in her presence, being that energy of being versus the energy of doing. And what's coming to me right now and what I'm feeling is it's the energy and the balance of receptivity and action, right? Of giving and receiving, because the feminine energy is a receiving energy. The masculine energy is a giving energy. And so we want to, in order, like if we're just acting all the time and we're not taking that time out to be present, right? We're not taking that time to be receptive. We're not taking that time to, it's sort of like, one example of this that I can give that they're giving me right now is when we're growing and we're healing and we're receiving activations, right? We need time to integrate that. The being is the energy of integration. It's the energy that allows everything to come together. It's the energy that keeps us centered. And so if we're doing all the time, then we get disconnected from ourselves. The being is what helps us stay connected to ourselves. And so ultimately the goal is to be able to be at the same time that you're doing, right? To act from that place of full presence, of full mindfulness, where we are anchored in this moment. And we don't necessarily have to sit quietly and do nothing in order to maintain that sense of being, right? We flow with it in every moment, right? So it's that energy of being conscious in everything that we do. I don't know if that's helpful as far as that goes, but it's like we need both in order to be centered. And then we merge those, right? We merge the being and the doing. And so we're simply acting from that place of being guided from that place of being. Perfect. Yeah, and I definitely I get caught up in that energy a lot, right? Because I have a very dominant masculine energy, and I've learned how to step more into and embrace my feminine energy, my divine feminine energy, especially over the past few years. But my default is always to default back to that energy of doing and that energy of accomplishing, and that just all of that logical linear kind of an energy. And so I've had to really learn how to open myself up to that more feminine aspect of my nature and really embrace that and learn that art, learn that balance. And I think a lot of us, we're in a society, right, that's designed for masculine energy. That's all about doing, right? But it's interesting because what do we call ourselves? We're not human doings, we're human beings. And so that being is what really helps to connect us to our true nature. Right? But everything is designed as go, go, go. So it's really fascinating, right? How I think a lot of us have, even by society standards, sort of like put our divine feminine energy on the back shelf because the world that we live in requires us to be in our masculine so much of the time. And so that's why that coming back to that balance is so incredibly important. And I'm really glad that you asked about that energy of being, Pete, because that is the energy that we're moving into. That's a huge aspect of the energies of 2022, is this energy of being, this energy of presence. As we move into that North Node in Taurus. And for bad influence, I don't know if you have a name that I could call you by. I will keep calling you bad influence if you want, but like I said, I really don't think that you are. So when I talk about the nodes, these are points that are generated in an astrological chart that represent the orbit of the moon. And so they're not necessarily, and like that's kind of the best way that I can describe it. I'm not really good at describing things technically, but they're imagined points in the rotation of the moon, and they represent points of fate in our charts. They represent, the North Node represents energy that we're moving into and learning to embrace in our life's journey. And the South Node represents energy that we're moving out of, and that's past energy, past life energy. A lot of the time for many of us, energies that we are more comfortable in because we've worked with them more in previous lifetimes. They represent a lot of different things. But when we have the nodes shifting signs collectively, then that shows us what we're collectively working on next. So we're moving, that North Node is moving into Taurus, which brings that South Node into Scorpio, because those are opposing signs that are along the same axis. And so we're working with the energies, the releasing of some of those scorpionic energies, the lower vibrations of those, and the moving into some of that higher vibration of the Taurus energy. But of course, we can only truly move into that if we take from some of the energies of Scorpio. So that's going to be a whole video that I'm going to be doing where I get more in depth into that. But the energy of being, the energy of presence, so incredibly important. Some people talk about the ascension into 5D, and they talk about this moment that's called the 0 point. And the 0 point is when we are all fully anchored into our hearts and fully present at the same time. And when that happens, that's what many say shifts our vibration as a collective into the 5D. But remember, the shadow work has to be done, right? This is where it's fun with that axis, right, of Taurus and Scorpio. We pull on that Scorpio energy. It's not possible to be fully present with ourselves, to be fully present in the moment, if we haven't done the shadow work, because it's so uncomfortable to sit with ourselves when we haven't done that. So that's how we see an example of how one sign has to call upon the other. Yeah, a lot of people have had those old habits. That would be the devil energy, right? Those old habits, those old belief systems, those old ways of being, old addictions, right? That have been pulling at us, that have been trying to, anytime we're moving forward, there's going to be energies tempting us to move back. And so we just have to recognize that that's there. And sometimes we move back into those energies for a time in order to see how much they no longer resonate, and in order to fully alchemize and transmute them. It's a very interesting process, right? But it's like there's always going to be that temptation to move back into what's comfortable, right? What's familiar. North Node is where you're going, South Node is your past, exactly. Yes, sometimes that energy of the South Node, right? If we fall back into that comfort zone, just like we were just talking about, all of your growth exists beyond your comfort zone. Clear, right? And yes, so I think we're going to close this live with a couple moonology cards, just because we've been talking about the astrology and the moon and the nodes of the moon and everything. I feel like I'm okay now. Good, Elizabeth. I love you. I love you so much. I don't know if I missed something in the chat here. Kookaburras. Is that a bird, Elizabeth? You guys have so much fascinating wildlife out clear. Wait, you're not in, are you in Australia as well, Elizabeth? Let's get some final guidance for this Sunday afternoon live. For all of the beautiful souls tuning in, or who will be tuning in and needing to hear these messages. What closing energies, what closing guidance do you have for us? Yes, you do. Nope, and yes. Okay, so so do you live down under? I feel like kookaburras. That really makes me think. That makes me think that you do. That's a great word, though, isn't it? Even if they are slightly obnoxious, at least they have a super cute sounding name, right? You're from Australia too, Goddess of Outcasts. Wow, we have so many powerful people out in Australia right now, holding down that energy. Oh, thank you. That's so beautiful. Thank you. Influence. That's what I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you influence. Yes, you do. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yes, we love all of our beautiful Aussies holding down the light there. Australia needs that light right now. All right, so we have luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. And this is, once again, this came out the last time we used this deck, right? That focused intention. Focused intention, and this is a new moon, right? And so I'm feeling those intentions from that new moon in Scorpio, but we do have coming up on December 4th here, the new moon eclipse in Sagittarius. And for those of you who've been following along, right, as we've worked with the nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius throughout 2021, as we've worked with these eclipses along the Sagittarius-Gemini axis, these energies have really been working with us to release those old outdated belief systems, right? We've been working through, we've been releasing those, we've been replacing those, and we're going to be really deeply integrating them with that new moon. So throwing that out there, but what I'm feeling from this card right now is that set those firm intentions for what you want to create with that new moon in Sagittarius, with that eclipse on December 4th. Really set powerful intentions for that new moon. And we do the new moon manifesting ceremony every new moon now. We're going to get this one because myself and my friend Gigi, I do it with a couple friends of mine now who are absolutely beautiful, powerful priestesses in their own right. My friend Gigi is coming with me to Egypt, right? But we're going to be leaving on the 5th, so we're all going to be able to do the new moon eclipse ceremony. And of course, we'll be doing one for the full moon eclipse in Taurus on the 19th as well. So people are welcome to join that if you want to get in on that. However, this energy, the information's in the description box below. This energy here, regardless of what you do or who you do it with, make sure that you're setting those powerful intentions. Make sure that you understand this energy of feeling lucky, right? This is a huge perspective shift that a lot of us have had to work through, which is this energy of knowing and believing that anything can happen, that anything is possible. Removing the limitations that we place on ourselves and the limiting belief systems that tell us that what we desire isn't possible, that our dream is too big, right? That we can't have or we don't deserve what it is that we want. There is incredibly powerful and potent energy pushing the current of your desires, right? Supporting the current of your desires. It feels like an electrical current. Like that energy is going to be so strong. So work with that energy and really work at, especially as we have this opportunity with this full moon in Taurus, right? Releasing those old belief systems that are ready to go and decide on that new moon in Sagittarius, on that eclipse, you make that decision of what your belief systems are. What I would guarantee, or what I would recommend to people, and I think we're going to do this if I remember, or Spirit brings it back to my attention for the new moon ceremony too. Write a list of the beliefs that you desire to keep, that you didn't desire to program within yourself. What are the beliefs that you want to have now? Right? Write those down and write those in present tense. I am this. I can do that. I know how to do this. I know it is possible to do that. Very empowered, current, present tense statements of what it is that you believe, what it is that you are encoding into your being as we move forward. Yeah, and then we have confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. So that energy of confidence, that energy of faith, that energy and knowing that you can do it, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that it is possible. Remember, all possibilities are possible. There is no such thing as impossible. It's only impossible if we believe it to be. And then we have full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. So that full range of Sagittarius energies, and we will be moving into Sagittarius season as well mid-month. Oh, thank you, Autumn Moon. That's very generous of you. Thank you. Yeah, so looking at that bigger picture, seeing things from that, like we talked about, seeing with that eagle vision. Give me some more about this look at the bigger picture. But it also, to me, feels like, right, because we're talking about this energy of Sagittarius. We're talking about these energy of beliefs, right? Where it begins at the new moon. This is where our beliefs are beginning to take root. And this is when we've fully moved through this process of discovery. We've gained all the wisdom, right? This is like the pinnacle of the journey right here. And so for clarification with look at the bigger picture, we got show the world the real you, and this is full moon in Aquarius energy. And remember, full moons, as we talked about, are an energy of releasing. So this to me feels like more things also that we're being asked to release, right? It's like I'm noticing how she's dumping, and of course this is the water bearer, and Aquarius energy is always dumping the water, right? But there's something about it in this picture. It's like she's dumping out everything that no longer serves. She's dumping out all those old belief systems, all of those self-limiting behaviors. She's dumping out all the energies that have in the past caused her to limit who she truly was and to be afraid to express her truth, right? Be afraid to be in her authenticity. Anything that's caused her to be afraid of that, she's releasing that. She's letting that go, stepping into the truth and fullness of who she is. Right? Yeah. And this Aquarius energy is a collective energy too. So this look at the bigger picture. It's like understand how everything that you do is affecting the whole. Every time you liberate yourself, you are liberating the whole. This is a really big and important energy. Right? It's like the small picture maybe, well, if I play this certain part, or if I don't say this thing, or if I act a certain way, it's going to get me what I need in the short term, right? That's the small picture. But what's the bigger picture? The bigger picture is like, ultimately, I'm going to still be forced to live in this box. My true fulfillment won't come because I can't be truly fulfilled as this person that I'm pretending to be. And I'm still going to feel disconnected within. Right? I'm not going to be able to live in integrity, right? Because integrity is when our thoughts, our words, and our truth match our actions. And so, yeah, that's the bigger picture. That's the bigger picture. So it's moving from the tunnel vision to the eagle vision. And I feel like there's something else here. It's not coming through. So give me a second, you guys. I feel like for some people too, what's going on is this is a reminder from the universe that luck is on your side. Energies are moving in your favor. You may not be feeling it. It's like you've been putting your heart and your soul into something and you feel like it's just not happening or just not coming through. And once again, this energy keeps coming up. This is so important for us right now. You're feeling like giving up. And so what Spirit is saying is don't give up. There is a bigger picture. The reason that you may have experienced roadblocks or setbacks, the reason that things haven't been developing at the pace that you wanted them to was because there's a greater divine timing in effect. And things have to come together the way that they need to come together in the unseen. You don't know the reasons for everything right now, but you need to trust those reasons. And you need to continue to be confident in yourself, in your abilities, in your dreams. Stay committed to those dreams and stay authentic and true to you. Keep being who you truly are. Keep having that confidence, right? Keep putting yourself out there the way that you're putting yourself out there, and know that ultimately it's going to work out because there is a bigger picture at play than just what you see. There's a greater reason why things are happening the way they're happening than what you can know. So you need to just trust and you need to keep going. You need to keep moving forward. Yeah, it's not just about you. It's like it's about multiple people right now. There's a lot that your desires and the manifestation and the creation of what it is that you're creating is so much bigger than you. And it's so much bigger than what you think and what you can understand. And so even more than look at the bigger picture, I feel like what this card is trying to say is trust the bigger picture. Trust the bigger picture. Don't back down. Don't give up. Keep moving forward. Keep being you. Keep living your truth. Keep being authentic and raw and vulnerable. Right? Keep wearing your heart on your sleeve. Keep sharing your truth, right? Keep, for a lot of people, this is where you've put yourself out there. You've really taken center stage in some way with this Leo energy. Even if you don't feel that confidence fully yet inside, you're tapping into that. You're learning how to cultivate and develop that. You're really putting yourself out there and you're feeling like things just aren't really happening or unfolding the way that you thought that they would. And like Spirit is saying, keep going. Keep being you. Keep living your truth. Just keep at it. Keep at it because there is so much more. It's like there's so much more at stake than you know. And what I mean in that regard is it's so important. It's so much more important for you to not to give up than what you realize. The impact of you continuing to move forward is so powerful. Yeah. Thank you, Pete. Yeah, that's like a really important message for probably a lot of us right now that Spirit wanted to get out there. Whew, yeah. So keep going, you guys. Keep moving forward. That's why we're here. We're here to support each other. We're here to liberate each other, right? We're here to lift each other up. We're here to inspire each other. There's so many of us right now, right? This can even be related to as we're moving forward and we're starting to create this new earth together, right? As we're in this ascension process, sometimes we feel like we want to give up, right? Sometimes we feel like nothing's shifting, nothing's changing, nothing's happening. But there is so much. It's just like we use the metaphor all the time of when you plant the seed. The majority of the growth happens underground. We don't see it, but it's happening. All right, so we just have to trust. We have to keep that faith. We have to keep moving forward. We have to know that there is so much more unfolding than we're aware of right now. And every little thing that's happening has such a powerful and profound ripple effect that we can't even fathom. And there's so much that we're not going to know as we move through this process, right? We just have to trust. Trust in each other. Right? Trust in Spirit, trust in our own intuition and our connection, and trust in what it is that we feel. Right? That's a huge thing that we've had to learn, right? With so much disinformation spread on the outside, to trust how we truly feel, right? To judge everything against our own inner resonance, and to know and understand that a lot of times what the outside world presents us is absolutely false. I like to call it sometimes the upside down world, where it's like everything that appears to be one thing is actually the exact opposite. Right. And so we don't know. You think that you are failing. Right. And we know what failure is. Right. There is no such thing because we're learning, we're growing. The master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. Right. But you're failing. You're actually succeeding. You think you're not growing. You're actually going through an incredible period of growth. Right. You think things are hopeless. There's actually so much hope. right? There's so much happening. And so we just have to, we have to believe in that. You think you're being swallowed in darkness, you're actually tapping into and becoming acquainted with so much more of your light. Yes, step into your authentic self. Good, Elizabeth. I'm glad. I love you so much. I'm glad that message resonated for you. Oh, that's okay, Allie. We're always glad to have you here, sister. Yes. Yes. Many of us have been so attached to failure that it has become an undesirable anchor. Exactly. As much as people fear failure, they also fear success. Right? For me, for a long time, it was like I understood intuitively that success meant that I was going to have to maintain that, right? Success doesn't just come and then you have it. You have to earn it and then you have to maintain it. And I didn't want to maintain it, and I didn't want the pressure of being successful where then everyone expects you to continue in that energy, right? It was easier, and it was the perfectionism, right? I didn't want to do anything if I couldn't do it perfectly. And so it was easier for me to never try in the first place than to risk failure. And that kept me in a constant state of what kind of was failure, right? Because that's the only true failure, is never trying at all. All right, you guys, I love you. Clear. And then on the bottom, a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. So there's definitely this energy where we have it within our power to close out some of these old cycles, these old belief systems, right? To move through these energies of resistance, these perceptions of lack, whatever it is that we're being asked to move through during this time. There is resolution. There is positive and beneficial outcomes as long as we hang in there. Yeah, I got to prepare now. We have our conference call for my Egypt trip coming up. So I love and appreciate you all. You're so amazing. Thank you all for stopping by and joining me. And we are going to be doing these lives regularly on Sundays around 1 o'clock. What else do I want to say about that? I think that's pretty much it. If for some reason we can't, like something comes up or the time needs to be adjusted, I will post and let you guys know. But we're going to really work towards having this as a consistent thing that we do, because I think it's really important. And I'm really enjoying all the ways that I get to interact more deeply with all of you guys and build these connections and build this community. Like, it is such an important part of my life, and I appreciate each and every one of you so much. And it really does help to keep me in this energy of inspiration, right? To keep me committed to my goals. It's just, I've received so much from every single one of you as well. So I want to honor you for that. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to connect like this. And there will be another reading coming out, hopefully later this evening or definitely tomorrow, Influence, where we talk about the energy, the upcoming ascension energies of the week. So do not worry, do not fret. Yes, very much appreciated, Pete. Hitting that like button, getting these messages out as much as we can to as many people as we can. Although we know that spirit, I always trust spirit to get it to whoever is meant to hear it. But it definitely, like we say, we are sort of like spirit's hands, right? And so spirit works through people. So work that like button, you guys. Much appreciated. You are incredible. Have an incredible day. Have an incredible weekend. Until we meet again.